Good morning. It's 9 a.m. I am back and I'm going to try and keep talking to two screens as usual because I am going live across my Instagram and also, good morning, also my YouTube channel, also my LinkedIn channel, morning Janice, and also into my Facebook group. Morning, Ellie. I owe you a message. I need to get back to you. And Beth's here as well. Lovely. Nice to see so many people hopping on Instagram. There's Jen. Haven't spoken to you in ages. Oh, Janice, you're a legend. Do you know what? Thank you, Janice. I really need that today because I'm talking about selling today. Morning. Oh, you guys are so brilliant. You are pepping me up because I wanted to talk about selling. And how to feel great about selling. And I wanted to just be really honest because sometimes selling doesn't feel very good. I really want to give you the tools and perhaps this morning remind me of the tools of how to sell and feel good about selling. But I know it's often that one thing in our business that like makes our toes curl, makes us feel really cringy. If you are watching this on the replay, let me know how you feel about selling. If you're watching this live, let me know. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being love selling, doing it all the time, 1 being barely ever do it, hate it, makes me feel really awful. Like, just let me know. I will indeed post it on IGTV afterwards. Someone's just saying there. Yeah, just let me know how you're feeling about selling because this is the middle point of where we're getting to with the 5 pillars that I share with people. So what we've done so far, Janice is in the middle there with 5. What we've done so far is look at the ideal customer, which we covered on Monday, and who it is you're trying to help, which is really going to help us today with the selling. Secondly, we looked yesterday at the packaging and the pricing and turning what you know into an offer. And today we're looking at how do we go out and sell it. So I wanted to cover 3 things and I am going to try and keep this to 15 minutes. There's a brilliant question that's just come in that I will answer before I start. The 3 things I want to talk about today with selling and how to feel good about selling is having conversations with people, because ultimately that's what good selling is. Secondly, confidence and belief, which leads back to the other 2 bits. There's a method to my madness and why I've put all of these steps in this order. And thirdly, I wanted to talk about handling objections and what people say to you if they say no, or I'm not sure, or I don't think I'm ready, or whatever it is, and how we do that. And I might actually illustrate it with a few examples from what I'm doing here with the core. Brilliant question there on Instagram from the Business Fitness podcast. What is your biggest fear in selling? My biggest fear in selling. I suppose my biggest, I try not to have massive fears about selling, but I think it would probably be, I don't know. I don't really feel like I have big fears about it. I think the big fears that I see other people having about selling are things like what happens if people say no, and we will come on to that and handle the objections. I also see a lot of people say what happens if nobody buys. And often with that kind of problem, it is the fear of the fear itself, if that makes sense. Actually, what you're worried about is what you're making it mean. So if nobody bought anything from you, if you went out and you sold and you put out something out there, what would you make that mean? You can easily make it mean, I'm no good, I should give up at this, nobody wants what I want, nobody's willing to invest. But all of that is stories that you're telling yourself in your head. And so it's absolutely the same for me. I suppose that my biggest fear then really is where I let my inner critic go to town, and where I will potentially let that run away with me and tell me all the negative things, which actually, when I apply some logic to it, are definitely not true, are not statements, they are not facts. Just because I sell something one day and don't sell something another day means absolutely nothing about me and my worth and my product and what I do. So I really try and tackle my fears head on. Let me know if that answered your question in any way, shape or form. Morning. Lots of new people joining as well. Fiona there as well. So firstly, I wanted to talk about then the concept of when we're feeling good about selling. Selling doesn't have to be, and should never really be, pushy. And I know that's how it looks, that or how we assume selling is, that it's pushy and it's salesy and it's the secondhand car salesman, it's a bit slimy and all of that kind of stuff. It shouldn't be. It should be about having conversations with people. And that is primarily what I try and do when I am selling. So here I am with all of you lovely people. Morning, Georgia. And I'm wanting to have a conversation with you. When people ask me questions, I answer them. Great answers. Thank you. I'm glad that helped. I'm glad that answered, but even vaguely put me on the spot there. I want to have a conversation because and my method to my madness, I know you. I think I know you. I think I know what it is you're struggling with. And so I want to talk to you about what is it that's getting in your way? What are you stuck with? What are the problems that you need to overcome? How can I help you? That is fundamentally what good selling is. It's not, I'm in a little silo, I've come up with this idea, I think I've got this product, and then I'm going to go out and I'm going to push it on you and sell it to you and tell you how brilliant it is and that you should buy this thing. Like, that's not selling. Good selling is about having conversations with people. Jane is here. Jane from Delving Within is a brilliant example of this, of starting great conversations, talking to people, getting people to communicate with her. And I know a lot of you others do this as well. And I know sometimes that can feel really hard when you feel like you're talking to nobody. And I asked this on my Instagram stories the other day because we talked about it in my Just Start Now membership. Sometimes it feels like you're talking to no one. I'm getting a lot of hearts on that one. Beck, yes, service, not selling. Exactly. We are here to talk to people and say, how can I help? You've got a problem. You've got something you're really stuck with. What could I do? If I could wave a magic wand, how could I make that go away? Or what would be the best way that I could support you right now? It's not pushing something onto them. So when we're talking and we're having those conversations, actually, I feel really inspired to create more content, to start more conversations, to come up with different products and different services. However, I do appreciate, and sometimes even for me, so here I am, I've got nearly 6,000 people follow me on Instagram. I've got 800 people in a Facebook group, all of this, technically I should feel like I'm talking to someone. Sometimes even I feel like I am talking to nobody. And it's really, really important to remember that, again, the method to it, that I'm thinking all the time, I trust that somebody is out there that is listening to this and they are hearing what they need to hear and they are moving closer towards being ready to buy from me. That I trust that everything that I do, every time I try and show up and have a conversation, that it's adding a little seed to someone else's ability to feel ready to buy from me, or we're ready to actually take action. Mandela's here, lovely, through my LinkedIn. Very true. We are solving their perceived problems. That's exactly it. We're not actually selling. I know we talked yesterday about packaging and pricing and, how do we bundle all this up? Actually, what we're selling is the outcome. It's the result that they get, how they feel, what they can do, what they now know, all of those things. That's actually what we're selling at the end of it. So try not to see selling as pushing and forcing people and broadcasting at people all the time. Try to see it as having conversations where you are asking people and getting them involved. And even though sometimes, especially when you're getting started and you've got a small audience, or even when you've got a larger audience, it can still feel like you're talking a little bit to nobody. But you have to trust, and it's going to come on to my second point, that people are listening to you. They are paying attention. And that will build that know, like, and trust we know turns into sales. Lovely. There's something I always say there to my sales guys. Business Fitness Podcast is saying, stop pushing the sale. Exactly. Like the push, the desperation, the forcing. Like, people are amazing. I think humans, we're so perceptive. We can pick up on that. And if there is that vibe of like desperation and forcing and pushing and how can I make this sale, it immediately makes you recoil and go, oh God, I really don't want that. That's not the kind of vibe I want to be around. I want to be around someone that feels easy. And I know that's hard when we've put so much effort into it. This kind of product, I'm selling my 12-week group program. It's a lot of content. It's a lot of effort that I've gone to. It's a lot of work. It's, an amazing amount of value in there. But if I force it and I try and push it on you, that is not going to help. What I need to do is have a conversation and say, do you think this is the right thing? What is it you're stuck with? Is this the right product? And a lot of you, I am talking to you in the direct messages. Morning, Kay. Morning, Disha. and saying, is this right for you? Let's have a conversation about it. That is so important. Yeah, exactly. Just ask questions, find their problem, and sell the solutions. That's really what sales is all about. And doing that in the nicest possible way, not in a salesy way, but in a genuine way. And I think the thing with all of you guys is you are authentic. You are interested in people. You do want to help people. So be human. Be like that. You know, I was chatting to someone on the direct messages last night, and I went to have a look at her blog, and I went and read one of her blog posts, and I said, I've just read your blog, and I just saw that you recommended this book. I've got another one that I'd love to recommend to you. I'm not pushing anything on her. I'm not selling anything to her. I just genuinely wanted to have a conversation and say, I'm interested in you. And hopefully that's a conversation that will keep going, and she will start trusting me, and maybe it will turn into a sale. Do you know what? Maybe it won't. It doesn't really matter. Hopefully that person then has got a good impression of what I'm like, that I'm interested, that I'm authentic, that I'm warm, and I'm not pushy and salesy. So think about sales like conversations, because that is going to help you move away from feeling icky about it to feeling a lot nicer about it. Secondly, I'm coming onto that piece about trust and belief. And this is why I've done it in this order. If you know who it is you are trying to sell to, that ideal customer, or even, you know, vaguely who it is and the problems that you're trying to solve for them, and you've put together your best effort for what that product, that service, that, you know, package, that program is for them, you have to go out and believe that you can help people. Because if there is, remember what we were saying about perception, if there is any little doubt or niggle or worry, or I'm not really sure if actually I can help people, that gets picked up. That gets picked up instantly by people. So you have to really work on cultivating, and this is a lot of what we do through the core, actually. Whilst I give you all the practical steps of how to sell and how to start conversations, and I give you loads of prompts and loads of ideas for doing that, really enjoyed listening. Have to run, no worries. I have lost my train of thought. I do actually think it is important that you believe in what you are offering, and you have that confidence, because people can pick up on that if you have those little seeds of doubt. So working on those mindset blocks, and like I say, that's what I was saying, during the core, because we have our group calls each week, we can start working through some of those. And sometimes people are saying, but what this? And my brain keeps telling me that, and I'm worried about this. I'm worried that I'm not qualified enough, or that I won't be able to get them the result that they want. And we have to work on, okay, what evidence have we got? How can we build that confidence, build that self-belief, find the courage to go out and give this a go? Because that is what people are buying into. They're buying your confidence in your ability to get that outcome, that result. And so we have to find ways to do that as much as we possibly can. So really working on that belief and that confidence is super important when it comes to selling, because people are perceptive. They're going to pick up if you don't really believe in what it is you're saying. And finally, I want to just give you another tip about selling. One of the things that happens with selling is naturally people say no, or I don't think so, or I'm not sure, I don't think it's right for me, or they don't talk to you at all. You get a wall of silence and no one's really listening. So what we need to do as part of selling and feeling good about selling is not pretend that there aren't objections. Like, there's no point keep going on and telling people that they're wrong. We have to see the objections and handle the objections. So, for example, with my group course, The Core, I am talking to a lot of people about whether this is right for you. Would you like to come and join? And there's lots of questions. There's lots of objections. There's lots of, I don't think it's quite right for me. Am I at the right stage? I don't quite have the right money. Is my business the right kind of business? Lots of objections like that. What I need to do as part of the selling process is handle those objections and talk about them. There's no point pretending that people don't have any objections. They found me, they think I'm brilliant, and they just buy. That isn't how it works. Naturally, when we're all buying something and investing in something, often at that little bit of a higher level, which I know some of you will really want to be doing, you want to be handling any of the objections they have. This is why it's really important to have things like frequently asked questions, pages on your website, and to create content that actually answers those questions. So I certainly will be saying, okay, if you are saying I will sign up to the core when I make a little bit more money, I will be saying, I won't be saying you're wrong, because that's a useless way of selling to people, because we don't want to make them feel like they're wrong. I will say, I know what it's like. I hear you. It's really scary, isn't it, to invest in something before your business has even made any money at all. What I would say is, this is the piece that will help you make money faster. This is the bit that will help smooth all of that out and make you understand the actions you need to take to make money. And this is what people that have come through it have already said. Now I actually understand what to do, and I don't feel like I'm kind of fannying around quite so much, something that my coach tells me I should use more often, because I love that phrase. We're not fanning around and pretending we're busy in our businesses, but we're actually moving forward and doing the things that really move the needle and help us make money. I have also written a blog post about this objection, about the when am I ready to invest. And I think that's another way to actually answer people's objections. You can write it, you can do videos on it, you can do podcasts on it, you can come up with any different format, but we have to handle the objections and answer people's problems, not pretend that they don't have any objections. Money is often the other big one, isn't it? I just gave that example there. Oh, I don't have the money right now. And so I think, getting lots of hearts on this one on Instagram, one of the really key things that to do as part of your content when you are selling is to address how are people spending their money right now, and what is the priority for their money, and where does their money go, and what would be good value, and why is your product, your service good value? How will it help them save money or make more money, or whatever it is. So actually handling and tackling that objection, rather than pretending that everybody's got loads of money and it's all totally fine. That isn't what we do. We have to actually face it head on and say, I know what it's like. I know what it's like, but this is what I think. This is a different way to think about it. This is a fresh angle to take on it with selling. I am going to call it a day there with selling. If you guys have any other questions about selling, or anything that I've said here, please do drop into my direct messages. We have covered seeing sales as conversations and talking to people, not pushing. We've talked about confidence and self-belief and knowing. There's Beth that came through the call last time. Morning, Beth. Confidence and self-belief in what you're selling. And that really comes from knowing who it is you're selling to and knowing you have something that can help them solve their problem, just like Beth does with people's baby sleep. And finally, I've talked about handling objections. We can't just pretend in sales that people don't have any issues with buying our product. Everything's fine. Everyone's just going to buy my thing. We have to actually talk and share and handle those objections and answer them and not say you're wrong, but say, I hear you. Here's what I would like to tell you, or here's how I'd like you to think about it instead, so that people can overcome that. I hope that has been useful. What we are going to talk about tomorrow is 2 things that I recommend as we go through the core content before you even start on social media, that you have in place so that you can get found and you can make sales and talk to people and have these conversations without needing to be reliant on social media. So I'm going to be coming on at 9 a.m. tomorrow to cover that in all of these lovely channels. And there are still places available on the core. We start on the 11th of October, and the whole program is taking you through exactly this: hand holding, answering all your questions, supporting you through all your wobbles, going from who am I trying to help, how do I package it and put it together, and how do I go out and market it and sell it. Brilliant. Okay, guys, have a lovely day, and I will see you all again tomorrow morning. Bye.